Perata, you need to close.
I would, first of all, like to take the exception that this is cynical. I think this country has begun to be cynical around the same time Lyndon Johnson started lying to us about the Vietnam War. Lyndon Johnson was a Democrat, but they had to phony up body counts in order to persuade the American people that we should continue that war because the facts and substance alone would not justify it. We were also lied to about this war. The reason that we were there was not the reason that was said. Whatever the reason is, it wasn't because Iraq was a threat because they had the big one or the potential for the big one. That never was true. We were lied to. When leaders lie, the public gets cynical. And the media, since Vietnam, has become extraordinarily cynical because everybody wanted to be Woodstein. Everybody wanted to bring somebody down in power. So we now have an organ that is oftentimes generating cynicism. After Lyndon Johnson, a Democrat, had to leave office, could not run for a second term because of the public outcry. Richard Nixon got elected, and immediately we began to see something happen there, and that is the liberties of Americans began to be curtailed because there was some sense of previous destiny that that administration had about their relationship to the people. So if we're going to look at history, let's look at it carefully for what it is. This state has voted over the years to protect its coast, to dedicate a certain portion of its state budget to its schools, to limit property taxes, to limit, in fact, government spending, to ban the practice of discrimination in housing. All of these things that we have done in California has had resonance somewhere else. We started the property tax revolt. That got on the ballot by a group of citizens. We made a folk hero out of one of them. So if, in fact, we are not going to suggest to our fellow Californians that this is an absolute right that they have, it is a responsibility that we have taken upon ourselves, then I would say we are the ones who are cynical. Let me just conclude by saying that we have done, in the last 45 minutes, more to advance the cause of democracy than any armed conflict could ever hope to. This is what makes America a great country. This is why we have the longest running democracy in history. We do ourselves proud when we exercise that democracy. Let the world see that this is what we are about and this is what they should want. I ask for an aye vote.